All right, guys, so we have the two seats right next to each other. On the left, we have the Saddlemen Extended Reach Custom with the lattice and blue stitching. And here we just have the regular stock seat for the Harley Road Glide Special. This Saddlemen is custom made. Basically, if you want to get a new seat from Saddlemen, you can get it with all black. It gets you a little bit quicker. But if you want to have some customization done to it, like the lattice stitching in different colors, you can have different colors in the front and in the rear. It takes a little bit more time. I got mine through 2 Lane Life, and they told me that it was going to take about 4 to 6 weeks. Mine actually came in about 3 weeks, so that came in pretty quick. That was awesome. It was a great experience with them, and I recommend going through them if you're looking for a dealer to get your seat from. The stock Harley seat, nothing crazy about it. It's just regular foam. It does have the insert here where you could put a back rest if you wanted to that would go down underneath. It's a lot wider than the Saddlemen. Other than that, there's a lot to talk about in the differences of these seats, so we're going to get into it. The biggest thing that I wanted to see when I was trying to figure out what seat to get for me was side-by-side comparison with the stock versus the new Saddlemen that I wanted to get. So top down, as you guys can see, this is a lot thinner than this one. The back of the passenger seat for the Saddlemen is a bit longer and thinner than the stock seat on the Harley. The lumbar support is amazing on this seat for hitting the throttle. It keeps you tucked in. It's by far the most comfortable seat I've ever had with hitting hard throttle and feeling like you aren't going anywhere. It's awesome. Stock seat kind of has that lip, but it just doesn't keep you in as well. So when you hit the throttle hard, you do kind of tend to slide up and you got to slide yourself back, shift down. But this one, you hit throttle, you ain't going nowhere. So right off the bat, they're almost about the same length. So that's a top view down and then top view down. So pause that freeze frame if you want to compare them side by side. The seat also is a lot thinner up in the nose. So if you look here, your legs are going to hug the tank a lot more closely, and we'll have videos of that so you can see that up close and personal. But what we're going to do is measure these lengths, because that's the things that I wanted to see is like, all right, my stock seat, where am I going to be compared to the other ones? So be patient with me. I'm using one hand and trying to do this. So we're going to do cut shots of this. All right, so for the length of the stock seat, so we go down, it's about 17 inches until you get to the very start of the lumbar support for the Harley seat. And the lumbar raises up to about, let's say the end is going to be the 23-inch mark. Total length for this, let's look at this real quick. Just about 35 inches from tip to the back. I'm clocking this seat in at about 16 inches of width, the longest and widest part of the seat for the rider. Lumbar height is about just a little over 5 inches. Width of the passenger seat at the widest part is about 11 inches. And length of the passenger bit is about 13 inches. Now let's go and compare that with our Saddlemen Step Up. This is the Extended Reach Saddlemen Step Up, not your standard Step Up. So it's got about 2 inches further pushback for the lumbar than the regular standard Step Up does. The Saddlemen Pro would have 1.5 inches pushback. San Diego Custom Pro has about 1.5 inches pushback versus the 2 inch, which is this one. All right, so for the Saddlemen Custom Extended Reach seat, tip of the nose to the lumbar support is just about 16.5 inches before where we start for the lumbar support. The height of the lumbar support, about 5.5 inches in length. Extended Reach passenger seat is going to be about 12 inches in length. So width of the Saddlemen seat, just about 12.5 inches, we'll say, give or take at the widest part of the seat. And width of the passenger side is about, we'll say 8 inches. So it's a little bit thinner. So that's all the boring dimensions between these two seats in case you really wanted to get into it in depth about it. I will say, even though this seat is a bit shorter, I think this one was what, like 17, this was about 16.5 before the lumbar. The nose doesn't sit further up on this seat, so it feels like this one is still further. So even though the length of this feels shorter or is measured shorter, the nose sits a little bit further back when you go to tuck it in underneath, and it makes that feel like you're still further back, even though it feels the length is shorter here. Here on the bottom side, so actually they're both about 7 inches. So the only difference I think is going to be with breaking the seat in See how the foam here is all pushed all the way deep in just because it's been used with the seat and it's had pressure from the hook from the bar underneath the seat. This one is flat. So I'm assuming with some time it's gonna break in and it might even slide the seat up a tiny bit. But length and dimension wise, these seats are about the same. Underside, there's a big difference. So you have this nice kind of felt material that's gonna not hopefully rub your tank as bad as this plastic stuff will. All the grommets are nice metal grommets all the way through with nice rubber mounts for the back on your fender, so you're not rubbing it around too much. When you get the seat, this is flipped around and it's got the rubber mounting that you put on underneath here to help prevent scratching your paint. You just basically use these bolts, take them off, flip it around 180 degrees, and then you're ready to rock and roll. This one here, it's all plastic. So the main part where your seat is gonna rub on your bike is up here at the north part. So this on your tank, when you take the seat off, depending on how old your bike is, you're gonna have some probably scuffing here. My bike does. This is all plastic in here. And this is where you put your insert for the backrest. So this just goes all the way through. See my fingers? Honestly, this seat isn't terribly uncomfortable. I went from some like kind of sportier bikes to this, and I thought this thing was amazing. I did take it on a trip and I rode about a little over 450 miles in a day, and my ass was killing me. So it's great for if you're doing maybe like 100 or 200 miles. Anything more than that, you might feel a little bit sore. So there's your profile of the stock, and there's your profile of the Saddlemen extended reach. But we're also going to do a side-by-side comparison on the bikes. You can see the positioning, so we'll go there next. All right, so this is the stock seat back on the Road Glide Special. So I just want to do a side-by-side comparison. That way everyone can kind of see where I sit in representation to the other Saddlemen extended reach step-up seat. So my profile, I'm 6'1", I'm about 225. So this is kind of going to be where I am when I'm on the bike, sitting flat-footed. I have no problem being flat-footed on the stock seat. Position-wise, I'm comfortable. This is what it looks like, feet up. So, I mean, this is where I am when I'm riding, basically. Do a quick swap out and go from there. I don't know what the seat height is or anything like that, but all I know is I'm flat-footed. This is where I am when I'm on the bike. That's pretty much it. So let's try the step up and we'll go from there. All right, so we got the Saddlemen Step Up extended reach seat back on the bike. Do the side by side for this one. All right, so position again. It feels like it doesn't feel too different. I thought at first that I was further back, but after doing the measurements, which I didn't realize they were gonna be so similar, it's not too different. So again, this is the riding position for me sitting up here. Let's see here. I feel like it's just a teensy bit back, not much though. I still reach my bars comfortably. Again, that lumbar, it keeps you hugged in. So if you hit throttle, you ain't going nowhere. That's probably the best thing that I like about the seat, honestly, is that you hit throttle, you're tucked in, you're not going anywhere. I feel very secure. Otherwise, this is kind of where I'm at. Feet-wise, I feel like my feet are still flat, but they're also at a different angle. I will say that your feet hug the tank a lot closer, so I feel like I'm close to the tank. That's way more comfortable. Arm position-wise, there's not really much of a difference. But yeah, so that's what it feels like side by side, just so you guys can see what the difference is. Hopefully it helps you guys out in trying to figure out whether the step up regular seat or the step up extended reach seat is a better fit for you guys and your bike. So I'm more than happy with this. And we'll do a review after I've ridden a lot more miles with the seat, get some more feedback of a more long-term review of the seat, how I feel, if there's anything I don't like about it, what I do like about it, and we'll go from there. But besides that, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Hold Fast Moto. Like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. If there are any questions you guys have, put in the comment section below. I will let you know to the best of my ability if I have any answers for you. And until the next time, be out there, ride safe.